Hey there, Dingo Stu here. Today's video is about diagnosing an unhealthy sound coming from Dave's Mercury 125 horsepower two-stroke, and is proudly sponsored by marineengine.com. The first job was to get the boat off the slipway so I could listen to the noise. We'd missed the highs, so he grabbed the other tinny to try and drag it off during a rapidly outgoing tide, but eventually we got it floating again. Alright, we're away. Doesn't do it in reverse?
So that seems happy speed.
Yeah, although it's not under any real load. If it explodes and I die, will you scatter my ashes at Stamford Bridge?
Where's that? That Fulham. You go upstream because the tide's going
That
up.
slight rattly noise, has that always been there?
No.
That sounds a little bit gearbox. I don't know, it's funny. No, it probably wouldn't be so clear if it was below the water.
See, hold on, it's fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that noise is odd. Let's take the cowling off and run it with the cowling off. Alright, just go about that speed again, not too fast. The miss is different though, isn't it? That's something else. And that's not the real bang that it was actually doing though, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it
right.
started off like tick, tick, tick.
Right.
Back, and then it steadily got worse.
Yeah. It's quite rhythmic. It's quite rhythmic. It's like a chuk-chuk, chuk-chuk. It's not like it's bang, 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 all, you know, every rotation.
Well, I took the prop off, and not under load, it was...
Doesn't do it.
It doesn't do it.
I'm just trying to think what could happen that slowly, because I mean it's running at 2,000 RPM.
Yeah.
So why is it chugging every second, like chuk 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 chuk, or every second and a half?
A bit of prop slipping bush at that point.
But it sounds quite high, but it could be something from the prop that somehow gets...
That's the only noise you're going to hear is above water. Right?
Exactly, it gets conducted up somehow. Since Dave and I went out on the water, I've been thinking about this noise, and to me the biggest clue is that it makes this kind of chug-chug, chug-chug, chug-chug noise. That frequency happens, you know, every second or two, I can't recall exactly. So I started sort of having a think about that. I figure anything connected directly to the flywheel would be happening quite quickly. You know, you're running at say 2,000 RPM, so it would happen, you know, many times a second. So I started doing a little bit of maths on the gearbox. Don't be afraid though, we've got a calculator and some rum, so we're not going this alone. The main things we need to know are the number of teeth on that forward gear and the number of teeth on the pinion gear. And in this case, it's 30 on the forward gear and 13 on the pinion gear. The only tricky part here is finding the least or lowest common multiple. And let's be honest, the internet can help here. What we need to do here is find a number that we can multiply 13 to get, and a number we can multiply 30 to get, and is the lowest. So say for example we had a gearbox that was 4:1. We had 5 teeth on the pinion and 20 on the forward gear. Then we can say that number is 20, because 5 you can multiply to make 20 4 times, 20 you can multiply by 1, that's the number, 20. We don't get gearboxes like that because What it means is that the same teeth keep meshing over and over again. Every 4 rotations, the pinion gear teeth mesh with the exact same teeth on the forward gear over and over again. And you get a very sort of specific wear pattern. So they specifically pick these numbers, like 13 and 30, where there kind of is no common multiple other than timesing 13 by 30, 390. What this means is you get the teeth on the pinion gear meshing with different teeth on the forward gear as much as possible. So you get a really nice sort of even wear pattern. Okay, so what it turns out is that magic number is 390, 13 times 30. If we take this lowest common multiple divided by the number of teeth on the pinion gear, turns out that it ends up where it started every 30 rotations. Now, what we can do here is say we're traveling about 2000 RPM. We weren't going that quickly, but we weren't at idle, that's for sure. Now, this is RPM. If we then divide that by 60, sorry, I'm writing a bit sideways. So we say 2060 divided by, we get 33.3. So we're doing 33.3 rotations a second, or RPS. What this means is if we have a damaged tooth on the forward gear and a damaged tooth on the pinion gear, those 2 teeth will end up meshing with each other, or attempting to, about every second, which gels with what we were sort of hearing on the water. And also what it turns out that Dave saw when he took the gearbox apart.
What's today's video about, Dave? Mutter, mutter, mutter. Coffee?
Coffee. First coffee of the day.
And gearbox.
A very sad gearbox.
Explodified.
Yes.
Looks heavy, it's best if you lift it.
Okay. Yeah. Where are we? One very sad gearbox.
So, missing teeth.
Yeah. Up here.
Yeah, definitely chips there. And
I think on the forward gear as well.
oh, right. Yeah. And those bits would have rattled around for a bit too, so... Where's the bits that came out? Are they in there?
This is only the just come out.
Yeah, cool.
So this is my here we go. So I'm missing a steel pin in there with a point, cone top.
Missing?
Yeah, it must be in there. And then 3 ball bearings is one. Should have 3 ball bearings which helps it circulate.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they're missing as well, so hopefully they haven't been ground up.
Reverse gear looks alright, doesn't it?
That's the new one.
Alright, we've got one of these little adapters for the drive shaft, so we can put a wrench on there. And here I've actually got the Yamaha tool for getting these little pinion nuts off. I'm presuming these are metric. Let's see if we can feel in there, hang on. So I think we're going to have to find the right imperial socket and then just get an adapter, little 3/8 to 3/8 adapter, and we should be in business.
Oh yeah, it's on. Okay, hang on.
You waited to get the edit.
Right side.
Yeah.
Okay, try now.
Bigger wrench.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe. Did that pop or did I?
Yeah, it's definitely coming off.
Nice.
Okay, go. Oh, it's on.
Nice. No tools, no idea, but we're getting.
Yeah.
Do you want a parts tray or something?
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
What's, you're saying if I drop them in the grass I'll never find them again?
No. Got the metal detector.
Oh, right.
plan now is to take the water pump off and then lift the drive shaft up so we can just pop the pinion gear off. Oh, something went down there. The key probably.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it went down the grass. It's that last one, the one that's going to snap.
Yeah. Should prise it off?
Yeah. Where's it? It's a bit hard to tell with the mud where it all separates.
Or if it does.
It's got a little tab under it somewhere. Yeah, no, come around this. See in there? Looks like there's a little. Yeah, I reckon that's the go. Might be wrong. Been wrong before, I'll be wrong again.
Smaller one? Oh, go up again.
You got that one or?
No, that's one.
There we go. So if you just pull the drive shaft up now. Ooh. Got it. Nice.
Excuse me.
Dying there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What's next?
Now you can pull the forward gear out.
Oh, that's too frightening. Go on, you go.
That's alright. Oh. Okay, forward gear out. There's your gear selector in there. How did that come out?
I don't know.
I don't know how that's even possible. So...
I may well have hit something.
Yeah. Alright, let's...
So I should have the gear selector.
Just tip it upside down, just tip it out, I think.
And some ball bearings in there.
Yeah, just tip it all onto here, I reckon, Dave.
Okay. So I take that out?
Yeah.
Or not?
Yep. No, there you go.
She's a beaut. Okay, here we go. Any ball bearings?
One. Are you missing two?
Yeah. How many do you get? One. I can see him. He's there.
Maybe.
Oh no.
Right.
I can see you, little bugger. There you go.
Nice.
So I've got three. They sit in the bottom of it.
So they don't look damaged. They haven't been chewed, which means
they sit in this, Stu.
yeah. So they just the other one's in there still, isn't it?
They sit in that.
Yeah, inside here. Yeah.
Okay.
So the other ones, they've obviously fallen out just when you pulled that out. There's no way they can come out. I can't see any of the bits of gear though. Why are they not? Oh, but you already took it apart.
Well, no, I just drained it.
Did you?
It's
Okay, yeah. So so it's come out with the oil.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there any oil in there?
A bit.
A bit. Okay.
Mainly water.
Mainly water. Okay. All right. Well, that's not too bad. All right. Let's get an ice cream container and put everything together before we lose it.
Yeah.
It's become a cooking show now.
Do you think that's enough?
That'll do. It's much harder to take out than it is to add more.
Pepper. We were going to have fish and chips, but Stu decided to economise.
Exactly.
And what have you got in
We're on
the
a
larger?
You squint at fish and chips.
I promised that to you.
Oh, look at that.
Is that right thing to do?
Well, I wouldn't stir it in now.
Oh, okay.
We can do the beetroot.
Is that going to be separate?
I think so.
He's a bit fussy, isn't he? Eduardo, what do you think?
Looks amazing. What do you reckon? It's rubbish, isn't it? Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. Not quite sure how this suddenly turned into a cooking show, but sorry about that. What happened in the end? So in the end, Dave actually found a second-hand gearbox, so he replaced the whole lower unit essentially. That makes a lot of sense with boats on the river. They live in salt water 24/7. They get a really hard time. So if you can find a gearbox from a boat that's lived on a trailer its whole life, you're kind of upgrading everything in one, you know, new water pump, drive shaft, gearbox, bearings, everything. And so I think that was a good choice for him. Having said that though, you can go to companies like the wonderful marineengine.com and buy sets of gears for these gearboxes. You can buy forward reverse gear pinion gear. They come as a set, come with bearings, and you can simply essentially do what we did in reverse and put new gears in.
we've had a bit of bad weather here at the moment, so I'm in the workshop. I'm going to have a look at this little Mercury that's not running. Hopefully something quite simple. I'll film it, but I'm not expecting it to be anything major, probably just old fuel. Also going to fix this inverter at some point. I've been dragging my heels on that, but we'll get there. All right, well, thanks again. Take care, and I'll catch you soon. See ya. What you got there, Daisy? Don't worry, I didn't mean to frighten you. Daisy, come on, mate. Come on, Daisy. We're going to explore the rest of the garden. Let the lorikeets have your seed. Actually, you've already had quite a bit today, haven't you? Alright, you enjoy. We'll get you some friends soon, hey?